right, good morning, afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our final episode of The Prophet of the Iron Serpent. Um, I have thoroughly enjoyed DMing this one, or keepering, I suppose, this one. And I'm sad to see it end, but I'm also really excited to see how it ends, because it might be good, it might be bad. Who knows? We'll find out today, I guess. I can't wait. So last session, I'm so excited. Last session, we started off at the beginning. You had stepped onto the train. You had realized that you were also caught up in this cycle on the train. Your cycle just took you
Yes.
off of the train sometimes. And so, realizing that, you were able to throw yourself another hint as to what could possibly be done to try and prevent this from occurring again. And when you did that, you threw off a couple of boxes from a couple of crates that had been brought from a museum to and was traveling elsewhere. And inside the box was a serpent, a coiled serpent statue, and also a box of manuscripts and folios. When you stepped off the train, you hit the beginning of your cycle once again. And so that was where we picked up last time with you guys basically going from the beginning again. We redid our introductions. Hopefully it wasn't too boring kind of redoing that bit. I hope we kept it different enough that it was still interesting for you
I
guys.
think we made it work pretty well.
I think so, yeah. It was, I don't know, it was fun for me to kind of see what happened, and also for you guys for buying into it and being willing to sort of like redo that and reset your characters to those moments of what they were like before. Um, and so this time you were able to find out some different information. You found the passenger manifest was a bit different. It had some different things on it. You also found that the items that had been found were a little bit different. And one of those items, of course, was the boxes that you had thrown off the train. You were able to find Charles Brandt. Things worked out a little bit differently with Charles this time. He was able to sneak up on you and attack you. You ended up knocking him out and bringing him to the jail cell. And once you had brought him home, that did trigger the sheriff to be a little bit more willing to work with you, and he provided you access to see some of those exhibits that they had collected from the side of the road. When you saw the boxes with the serpent statue and the folios, you actually ended up being able to take the folios. Um, and then you decided to go and speak with the prophet of the Iron Serpent. You hadn't been able to get very much information this time around on how this whole thing was working, but you had a little bit more information this time about the prophet. And so you are currently, well, you had taken the train to a what we had called a Hooverville, but then we learned that Hoovervilles weren't actually until the 30s, and so it's just a slum at this point. Um, you had taken the train to this place outside of Seattle, and had Ken finally got to drive, something he's been wanting to do for ages. And when you got there, you were greeted with the prophet himself, and so that is where we will pick things up today. So here we are at this not Hooverville. And oh my goodness, this picture is huge. Um, Walking down the tracks towards you was this fellow here. He who calls himself the prophet of the Iron Serpent. And I can't remember, I don't think he talked very much to you guys other than introducing himself.
Yeah, he'd only introduced himself.
Yeah. And so that is where we will pick things up. So, just sort of as a refresher, this man walks towards you. He is um, old, but not that old. He does have a white beard, but his face looks young, as though perhaps there is another reason for his white hair. He is unshaven, obviously. He's got this
Mm.
massive beard, and a little bit unkempt, but he is wearing a decent coat without too many holes. His shoes look in decent repair, same with his pants. Um, he's even wearing a little bit of a tie. He seems fairly put together, and as he approaches you, he says, I knew you would come.
You did?
Of course, you have come before.
Ah, more of this time stuff.
Yes. Um, great. I'm going to need you to explain as much as you can.
It is difficult to explain. Come sit with me. And
Okay.
he leads you over towards like a trash can that has is ablaze with some fire. It's Seattle, so it's probably raining a little bit. And he stands near it and warms his hands over the fire, and he says, "I know I have seen you before. I know you have come and asked me questions before. You don't always come, but often you do. But I sense this time is different. It maybe it will be the last time."
I sincerely hope so.
I
I've
did not say
it
that that was a good thing.
oh, well, everything must end, and if the end doesn't work out for the best, at least it's an ending.
Not everything ends, but the serpent's coils tighten. He sort of nods to himself as if, yes, that's correct.
Well, I intend to break out of them as best I can. I don't like feeling trapped in a maze. I don't intend for this to last any longer.
Perhaps it will not. Perhaps you will break free. Perhaps you will slip loose of the serpent's coils. Perhaps.
Perhaps. Um, what do you know of the Serpent and its plans, its scheme? Or, or, or what do you know that hasn't worked?
We call it a serpent, but it is not a serpent. It has a name.
I know.
Yikrishna. And when he whispers that name, shivers go down the back of your spines. Everyone, please roll me a sanity check.
Having heard this name already, am I going to make this check?
Yes, because it is
Okay.
the prophet speaking it that is
Okay.
causing the
Oh,
nice, a hard success. So no sanity damage to you, Terrance. The others will take 1d4. Oof, 4 points of
oof.
sanity damage to Professor Gray and Ken as when he whispers that name, something about it echoes and hisses and almost has the sound of a train whistle underneath it. And it just causes, all those hairs on the back of your neck to stand up and a shiver to run down your spine. And seeing your responses, he nods and he says, "The creature is a god, a creature, a greater being. We call it a serpent because that is the easiest way for our brains to comprehend, but it is much more than that." He
Hmm.
he says he is also called the endless coil, the throat of eternity, the passenger eater. Those who worship him are granted prosperity in their cycles. And those who do not are doomed to repeat them again and again. But even those who worship him do not come away unscathed. The endless coil is not about repetition, is not about cycles. It is about reoccurrence. It is about the binding of things into loops. We cannot
Do
escape
you
it.
do you worship him, or are you trapped within?
He sort of laughs and says, I am not trapped within the cycle, and I do not worship the creature. But for some reason, I am able to see the cycles. I can see the reoccurrence. I can hold fragments of it in my memory. It's probably why they call me mad.
That could do
Perhaps
it.
I am.
So you're saying the whole world's caught up in this cycle. So every time we fail to stop the train or it resets? Like the whole world goes
He
back a
kind of
certain amount of dates?
he kind of grins at you, and you see his teeth are sort of like rotting. And he says, "Alas, we are not that important. There are cycles within cycles, reoccurrences within reoccurrences. The world itself is in cycles. Civilizations rise and fall, as will this one eventually. And then there are cycles within that. One of the smaller cycles are people on a train doomed to travel the same set of tracks over and over again."
Why that specifically, though? What's the significance of that? Seems arbitrary.
Many, many years ago, before all of our modern machinery, the people here understood that there were places in the earth that were closer to these reoccurrences, where cycles were more likely to repeat. These are places where the layers between worlds are thinner. There are many, many worlds that reoccur. Every time a world reoccurs, it forms a new world every time a cycle repeats. And these are some places where that is more likely to happen. Iron is a powerful metal. It comes from the earth, it binds, it can hold a magnetic charge. It adds power to gates and dimensions. And then add electricity to that. And well, how could it not happen there?
So is there a gate in the tunnel that maybe we could close?
The tunnel is the closest point. Every rail that was laid was another segment of Yigrishna's body binding the world. And that place in the tunnel is a linchpin.
What if we? And Ken's can't believe what he's saying. What if we destroy the rail right before the tunnel?
Destroying the rail would prevent the reoccurrences from creating more reoccurrences, but the reoccurrence that is already in cycle, breaking the rail will not help that.
They're going to just fix the bloody rail anyways, even if we do
Alright.
break it, and assuming we escape law enforcement.
Yeah, that ain't possible. They take the rail seriously. Man, I think just Ken knows like what would happen to someone if they break the rail of the train and get caught doing it. Like it's federal crime.
Yeah. It would definitely be frowned upon.
Most likely get a hanging.
Well, I don't know, not a hanging, but you'll be in the
It
slammer
depends
for the
on where you
next.
are in the world.
It won't be a hanging, but you'll spend time in the slammer for at least 20 years.
That's if no one gets hurt, but if someone gets hurt, it's definitely going to be a hanging. Because this is before the electric chair. They still hang people these days.
Hmm.
More fun history facts.
Yep.
um, he he sort of looks at the three of you and says, "I know this is the last time, and I am not sure why. I do not know what has changed on this reoccurrence, but something has changed. Something is coming to a head, and I cannot see if it leads to a breaking of the cycle or a tightening of it."
Interesting. It appears that in previous cycles we've tried to get on the train and stop it from there. We've pretty sure we've received messages from our past cycle selves, but it's difficult to understand what they mean. There is,
Clues, perhaps, getting
yeah,
closer and closer to the truth on how to stop the damn train.
I don't know if stopping the train before it can reach the tunnel will be enough to break the cycle, but I hope. Ideally, we want none of the train to go into the tunnel, perhaps.
Interesting. And fun
Well,
fact, electric chairs were around this time. Sorry.
Yeah, I had a feeling they
They
would
were?
be. Yeah,
Yeah, they were invented in 18. Yeah.
electricity was coming into its prime as the fad they were using for all sorts of shit in the early to mid 19s. So it does make sense.
Crazy.
well, you weren't gonna get the death penalty if you were caught dismantling rail, but you would be if people died because of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Professor,
The
unless you have about 300 pounds of TNT to collapse the damn tunnel, then our only recourse is to save 47 for now. These are powers beyond our reach. Unfortunately, we're only but
Yes.
mortal.
But we've had to try in the past, right? If we're stuck in this loop of things, we've had to try to stop the train multiple times. If every time we tried to stop it, we threw something out, there were dozens of items. So we've failed every time.
Well, technically, there's only about 8. Who knows? There may be more.
When you sort of are having this side conversation, your eyes have sort of drifted away from the prophet, and when you turn back to him, he's still standing, but his hands have fallen down his side, and you see that his eyes have rolled back into his head, just showing the whites of his eyes, and he looks like he's having a seizure, but he's still standing upright. Um, and he suddenly collapses to the ground and begins to seize in earnest.
Oh shit.
A junkie, perhaps? You should probably help him.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll try and help him. They try and like put something in his mouth so he can't bite his tongue.
Yeah, takes his belt off
Okay.
and
Like,
rolls up
yeah,
and throws his mouth.
yeah, like don't tie him up, but like biting the tongue
No,
and
no,
bleeding out through that is the problem. So yeah.
yeah, leather belt to the mouth. It's
Yeah.
All right. So you take off your belt, you put it between his teeth, and that seems to his teeth are sort of like clenched. You have to sort of force his jaw open. You manage to get the belt in there. He's seizing. You kind of clear away rocks and things from nearby just to give him a little bit of space to have his seizure, and uh, finally he stops seizing. And he sits up suddenly. The belt drops from his mouth, and he speaks. And he says, "When the lost cry from the hollow rails, and their tokens lie cold in waiting hands, then shall the serpent coil once more, its body forged in ash and iron. Yet ash may be scattered, and iron may wound its own flesh. Draw the mark where its shadow sleeps, and let the salt cross the wound. Walk the circle thrice, naming the sin of motion, for every step is a link undone. When the tongue of steam falls silent and the hammer finds the heart of iron, the serpent shall turn its gaze inward, devouring the chain that bound it. Then may the sleepers wake and the rails remember stillness." And then he collapses unconscious.
Well, I got about half that.
I'm writing it down. Unfortunately, I failed poetry during English literature class, so I have no idea what he's talking about.
Lost
Nice
crash
poem,
on
though.
wave rails, will take like holding waving hands. Then shall seven coil once more as body forged flesh and iron, yet ash.
We should probably get him to his tent
Yes.
or
Call the
hut,
mark where shadow sleeps.
whatever destitute abode he calls home.
A couple of the other people who live here come by, and they help him. One of them sort of tells you this happens to him occasionally. He spouts nonsense, and it's part of his seizures. Whatever he said, don't pay it any mind. And they help you carry him back to. He's got like one of these little shacks. Inside the shack is there are images of snakes and rails and that sign that you've seen before, just all over the walls, like every square inch, the walls, the ceiling, everything. It's just been painted on, drawn on with whatever he can find. Some of it looks very questionable as to, in terms of what it is, and it's just everywhere. Even the floor, every surface is just covered in images of a serpent. And they lay him down and basically leave him there, and they don't seem overly concerned. It's just this happens to him sometimes. And they head on out. What do you guys do?
Well, I think that's much help he's gonna give us. I guess we'll start heading back.
Yeah. Professor is like deep in thought about the about his words.
Alrighty. So can you drive the group back to the train station? Do you want to go ahead and give me a driving check?
Oh,
I'm
or at
gonna
least it's
push
only 3
that.
points.
We were starting to go off the
Yeah.
road, and Ken pulls it back onto the straight.
Okay.
Took a turn a little too hard. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Ah,
I love the fact that you're a good driver, but like you rolled some pretty sketchy rolls
that's
for
an
this.
84 and an 88 out of 85 for your first 2 driving rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Um, yeah, so Ken, you sort of go to skid off the road a little bit. You do a little correction. Probably gives your 2 passengers that feeling in the pit of your stomach. Your
Mm.
heart stops for a second. But you do make it back to the train station in one piece. And you hop back aboard. Which way are you going? Are you headed, or I guess, are you going back onto the train station? Is there anywhere else in Seattle you would like to go? This is where the items came from that were on the train. Or obviously, you can head back to Clay Ellum with the information that you've gathered, or go somewhere
We
else.
we could pay a visit to the museum, because that's where some of the things were coming from, right?
Yeah, the 2 smashed crates, I think, came from the
Yeah.
museum. The one with
So
the snake statue in those books.
yeah, Seattle Museum of History.
Didn't you have to decode those books, and you were gonna spend the train ride here to get decode books?
I decided that way insanity lies.
Oh. Yeah,
Like
maybe
it was
if we
going to
go
cost me
there.
sanity just for looking at them, let alone
Gotcha. I remember that
actually
now.
trying to decode them.
Yeah.
If we go there, they might have the code break for the books already.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I mean, we're here, and I think our train leaves for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Worth a go.
Okay. So you guys head to the Seattle Museum of History, which I forgot to take the grid off this image, so just give me a second here.
Mhm.
Grid, go away. There we go. I couldn't find like an appropriate picture of the museum, so this is just a picture of Seattle, but it gives us something to look at. So
Yeah.
here we have Seattle. The Seattle Museum of History is a pretty impressive place. It's a big city. It's obviously its doors are open to the public. It's a very long building. Um, I think it's now called the Museum of History and Industry, if I remember correctly, but I think at the time it was the Museum of History.
Mhm.
It is, like I said, it's a big long building. It's white. It's sort of got like a smaller upper floor atop a rectangular building. Um, and the doors stand open for people to come in and take a look. There is a small admissions fee, which you guys can pay quite easily out of your daily funds, so that's not an issue.
Okay.
Heading inside, you see there's a little kiosk to buy tickets, and then there's directions into the museum proper. I imagine they have those little leaflets that they hand out at every museum that kind of gives you a floor plan and what to see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will look for a member of staff. Because like I'm not here to visit the museum. I'm here to visit one of the like curators or whoever's responsible for
Sure.
these items. So
Yeah. So there is, you go up to the kiosk and
mm,
speak with the woman who's selling tickets there, and she is able to direct you. I suppose you probably want like someone from the
anthropology
section?
or something something like that.
Sure. So there is it's not long before you are greeted by a a man who he's got that kind of like museum curator kind of look.
Sure. Yeah.
Tall, skinny, dressed quite nicely, glasses, looks like a little bit of a nerd. And he is an anthropology historian,
Mm.
and he comes out and says, "Greetings, pleasure to meet you.
Hi.
I understand you have some questions for me."
Yes, Professor Richard Gray from the Insert University of somewhere in the other coast of the United States.
Sure.
Hadn't thought that far ahead. I'm here investigating the disappearance of a train, and there are some artifacts on the manifest that appear to have come from your museum.
Oh, yes. Why don't you come with me? Let's go to my office. My name is
Sure.
Professor Whitehead, Chris Whitehead. Throw his name in the chat here. And he takes you through into his offices. And like any museum, they've kind of got like offices off to the side where they've, can do their research. His office is full of books and artifacts from various different cultures that are up on the wall. There's a lot of indigenous art, you notice. That seems to be, and sort of like more kind of local type stuff than things that are from elsewhere. And he says, "Yes, I actually I was the one who sent those on the train. I had understood that they had gone missing. I was contacted by a sheriff. I think his name was Constable Yancey, who said that he had the items had gone missing with the missing train."
So
They're not quite missing.
no, there were recovered items from the
Oh,
train, which is adding to our confusion. 2 crates with your museum's mark on them. Obviously, they're evidence in the case, so we can't release them just yet.
of course, yes.
But I wanted to discuss their contents and try and understand their context. We're having to cover every angle we can possibly think of with this disappearance.
Are you involved in the investigation in some way?
I am indeed. The rail company has brought myself and my colleagues on board to investigate.
I see. I see. Well, yes, I'm more than happy to answer any questions I can. I don't know how useful my information will be, but you are welcome to it.
So one of them appeared to have a snake statue.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Bit of a
what can you
mystery,
tell me
that
about
piece.
it?
Yeah. Absolutely. So the statue is quite interesting in that we're not entirely certain where it came from. It is carved out of what looks to be a piece of stone that is local to the area, actually not far from Clayellum. But the piece's design is not that you would normally see from the population there. It's quite a fascinating piece. We do believe it is quite old. All the dating that we've been able to do sets it back to the time before uh, uh, settlers came to these shores, when it was the indigenous populations that lived here. But it is not in their traditional style of art. So it's a very confusing piece. We're trying to decide it. There's a possibility that it is a fraudulent piece, or there's a possibility that it has come from somewhere else, which is quite exciting because, as I said, we believe it dates to before what we had originally thought was first contact. So this could show contact
From
beforehand.
elsewhere.
It is very, very fascinating. Could be a very important piece. Also could just be a fraud.
Good. You say it came that like this stone came from near Clayellum. Any chance near
We
the Paul's Pass?
Yes, actually. How did you know that?
That seems to be coming up a lot in the investigation, and I'm relatively good at putting two and two together.
Ah, interesting. Yes, we it is the same kind of rock that does exist around the Paul's Pass area, um, and again, this is another interesting thing because it's a fairly this particular rock is only found in fairly small bands, um, and to see it where it is, to it's another reason we believe it's placed in that locale.
Okay. You say small bands. Where sort of would you find those bands?
Let me pull out this map.
Sure.
And he pulls out a map. It's obviously not this particular map,
No.
but it shows a similar area, probably a little bit more zoomed in to
Mm.
kind of the area that the top left-hand corner. And where he sort of shows is he says, now there is a large deposit right here near Clay Elam. But it does appear in bands, and he sort of draws a line that is so close to where the purple line on the map is, where that electricity flows. Um, it's this his map is a geological map. It's a geological
Sure.
survey, so it shows all the
Yeah.
different rock types. And the bands, when you look at them, you could almost overlay
Mm.
the 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 railway lines on top of it.
Okay. Does this rock have any cultural significance for peoples of the region? Um.
Not particularly. It does contain some bits of iron, um,
Mm.
but it wasn't really a very valuable rock. It wasn't really mined or anything like that. And most people would use it to carve trinkets like this statue or jewelry, that kind of thing. It wasn't of the appropriate type to use for tools. It was too brittle, so it could not be used for arrowheads or knives or any tools like that.
So it was mostly ceremonial, or
Yes, I suppose you could say that. Yes.
interesting. And yes, you say the snake design is not of any of their local um, beliefs.
You
Just
do occasionally
curious.
see sneaks.
Sneaks.
Sneaky sneaks. You do occasionally see snakes in their culture showing
Mm.
up as imagery, certainly. But this particular style of snake is not appropriate to the time we believe it's from. Normally, they would be. This statue is very realistic in its depiction of a snake,
Mm.
whereas the snakes that we more commonly see in the jewelry and the imagery of the time are more um, conceptual images of a snake rather than specific lifelike images.
Sure. What a snake feels like rather than what a snake is.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Um. Okay. So moving on from that, the folios, we were actually able to recover um two of them? Question mark. Or a folio. I'm trying to remember what the.
So
Oh,
there
a
was a
folio.
bunch of them. The one of interest was the coils of iron.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
folio 117 to 119.
Sure. Yeah, 117 to 119, the coils of iron. Um,
Yes.
I had a look at it, but it seems to be in some kind of code.
Yes. Then another fascinating piece. Um, we are not certain what language it is written in. We agree. I agree. It is in some kind of code. We have not been able to crack that code. We've had many people look at it. Unfortunately, the last person that was studying it, and the reason it was being shipped is the last person that was studying it had some um, was not is not well and is now spending some time in hospital.
Interesting. And where were you sending these items to? What was the final destination in mind?
Oh, they were going to another researcher that I know, who actually lives in. Lost my notes. In St. Paul.
In St. Paul, okay. Curious.
A lot of good
Trying.
information.
Stone from the same region. Metal. Iron comes up again.
Yeah, I've been reading this with the what was he? Just a hobo?
The Prophet.
Prophet, yeah. What the Prophet said. I mean, I've studied quite a few prophecies, I guess you would say, Greek mythology with the oracles of Delphi. There are some hints on what we should be doing to maybe stop this
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yes.
Stop what
this.
thing?
Oh, maybe this is a conversation to not have in front of the.
Oh, right. Sorry.
In front of the.
Just
This is proving to be a complicated matter, and we have some strange and confusing leads that we need to try and put together. Thank you very much for your time. Is there anything else either of my colleagues want to ask?
not really.
Well, it was. It's funny you should say something about Prophet because we what we do know of this folio, it looks as though it's some kind of possibly prophecy or ritual. And he pulls out a copy of it. He's got a copy that they have kept for their own purposes, and obviously you're not going to ship the original without having some kind of copy. And so he's got a copy of it, and he pulls it out from his desk, and he says, "We, like I said, we have not succeeded in translating it, but this seems to be a list of some kind. We believe it is a list of requirements." And this section here, and he points like just below it, he says, this seems to be a set of instructions from what we can tell.
Okay.
But
knowing with that bit of information and with the copy in front of me, can I spend a little bit of time trying to decipher some of it? I'll happily take the sanity damage for doing so.
Yeah. You can. Do you want to do it here with him, or do you want to do it on your own time?
Maybe here with him. He's an expert in this kind of thing. He's got a little bit of extra information about the thing that
Sure.
I didn't have at the time.
So we are going to call this a hard library use check.
Okay.
You will have a bonus die thanks to this professor's assistance.
Okay. Let's go.
Ooh.
Okay.
Use the
do you
bonus
want to
die
roll
for hard.
I was just gonna say, do you want to?
So I need this to be a 3 or lower.
So you got a success.
I have a success. Do I spend the 62 minus 37? 25 luck. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. I will spend 25, just under half of my luck to turn that into a hard.
Wow. Okay. So first of all, you will be
23.
taking some
Sure.
sanity damage from looking at this. And it's a fairly decent penalty. It's gonna be 2d6.
Oh my, okay.
Oof.
Ouch. Okay.
You're gonna take 11
worth
points
it.
of sanity damage.
Yep.
Which I think, does that put you into problematic territory?
That puts me on the edge. That puts me 245 out of 60.
Okay. So you don't need to take any
He does need to do a D100 because he got more than 5 in one hit.
True.
Right. Thank you.
So
Yes.
I roll. What do I do? A
D100.
let's roll 1d100.
84.
That. Okay, is that equal to or less than your intelligence?
No. It's it's an intelligence roll.
Oh, it's an intelligence roll. So
Yeah.
I'll do that instead. My intelligence
Yeah.
is 80.
Okay. Go ahead and roll intelligence, but we won't count that
Okay.
current
Okay.
die.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, you managed to hold on to your sanity. Just.
Mm.
I'm gonna roll for him as well. Oh dear.
Oh.
He is not.
So he has to roll a 1d10 for a breath of madness from the
Oh
madness
no, he's
table.
fine. No. If they lose 5 or more, they roll a d100. If the result is equal or less than their intelligence, they fully understand and comprehend what they've seen and temporarily goes insane for 1d10 hours. If they fail the roll, their mind is closed to horror and they remain sane for now. So he's fine. I'm not.
Oh, I
I
misread that. Sorry.
I ingested it. He
He doesn't understand what he's looking at, but you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I thought if it. Oh, I got the opposite. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I misread that.
I glazed over it and I thought the opposite as well. All right. So, do you want to roll me the 1d10?
Yep. Slash roll 1d10. 4 hours. Oh boy, we having a bad time.
And what is your breath?
That's
No, that's
the train
just
right back.
So your 1d10 is what is happening to you.
Go temporary insane for 1d10 hours.
No, this is the 1d10 roll was for what form of madness it's taking.
Right,
You get
okay.
1d10 hours and you get one. Roll another 1d10. So you're whatever this is for 4 hours, and then let's roll a 1d10 1. Amnesia.
Oh fuck me.
The
Did all of that.
investigator has no memory of events that have taken place since they were last in a place of safety. Seems to them that one moment they were eating breakfast and the next they were facing a monster. This lasts for 1d10 rounds. I am going to say that you don't remember anything since leaving Clay Ellum.
Okay, but that only lasts for X rounds, so...
Oh, it's interesting because it says it lasts for that long, but then it says it only lasts for that many rounds.
Yeah. Like, maybe like for 4 hours I'll have that amnesia, then? Temporarily insane for 1d10 hours.
Yes.
So yeah, they'll just go with amnesia for 4 hours.
In addition, no. So you have amnesia for 1d10 rounds.
Okay.
But you're also temporarily insane for 1d4 hours. 1d10 hours.
Okay.
So the amnesia will not last that long.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to articulate anything or put anything together until for another 4 hours.
Sure.
That's my interpretation of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So...
Kind of wish I'd kept that original D100. It was an 84. Would have been fine.
I'm so sorry.
Oh well.
I thought I was doing a nice thing by allowing you to re-roll it.
Oh well.
Well, she just wanted wants to think of madness for one of the good way to end the game.
I was gonna say I suppose this is a good we haven't had this happen yet, right?
No, it's fair.
So I am not going to share the translation with you at this time.
Okay.
Until Professor Gray is able to come out of this and explain it. So here's what happens. The two of you are poring over the folio. Terrance and Ken, we're gonna actually shift to you for a moment. So the two professors um, sort of get together. They're looking over the folio. Professor um, Whitehead is sort of explaining to you how far he got and what they had learned, and you're basically both sitting together, kind of looking at things, and he's kind of showing you what they had done already to interpret this.
Mm.
Um, while they're doing that, this probably takes a couple of hours. Terrance and Ken, what do you guys do in the meantime? Are you there listening? Do you kind of get up and go wander around the museum? Do you want to go somewhere else in Seattle? What do you do while these two are working?
Ken is trying to break down the prophecy the prophet gave us,
Okay.
using his Greek mythology of oracle prophecies and things like that he's studied in the past. So, like the first line, when the lost cry from the hollow rails, he writes down the passengers from the train question mark, uh, where their tokens lie cold for in waiting hands. Where all before the items were dropped out, where they were dropped out before the tunnel, yeah, before the
Yes.
tunnel, and he's writing down that and um,
Can you make me a check? I actually have um, interpretations for some of the lines in this poem. So I'd like you to make me a check. Is there like a Greek history or
I
whatever?
have Greek history as part of my history specialty, so my history is just a history check.
Okay, so I'd like you to make me a history check, please. And depending on how well you roll, I will reveal some of the meaning of this poem.
I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
Uh, he he gets like frustrated, and then he just like takes a deep breath, and hopefully it calms him down and makes his mind reset with some of
Okay.
these lines.
Before you push, I'm going to let you know that your consequence for failure, if you fail again, is
Mhm.
that you're going to take some sanity damage from
Okay,
spending so long staring at this prophecy.
that is fine. So I'm pushing.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't use luck. All right, I push. So
You push, you can't use luck. So you stare and you stare at this poem. And just to be clear, that doesn't mean that you as a player cannot up with some interpretations.
right,
I'm just not going to let you know the ones that I have
gotcha.
here. But what it does mean is you spend so long, and the more you stare at this poem and um, you start reading it like when the lost cry from the hollow rails and their tokens, and it sort of becomes rhythmic, and then it almost sounds like the wheels of the train turning, and you know that sound ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk that you hear on a train of like just the wheels going and going, and you just feel like as you're reading this, you're just reading it over and over and over again, and the wheels are turning, and you feel like you're just on a train kind of in your head, and you're going to take 1d6 sanity damage.
Oh,
4
good.
points of sanity damage from listening to this repetition over and over again. It gives you a massive headache, and you actually have to sort of like stop and close your eyes and look away from the poem and just kind of breathe through it in order to stop the pain. Um, Terrance, while Ken is doing that, what would you like to do?
I want to ask the museum director if there's a telephone around here.
Um, yeah, absolutely. There is one in the. I I don't know in the time if there would have been one in every office, but I imagine the museum would have one that they would give you access to.
They were getting pretty popular at the time, so yeah, it's just general institutions.
Okay, so yeah, there's probably one in the professor's office then that you can use.
I'm going to call collect. You can bill me later. Terrance
Um,
Edward Murphy, Manhattan, 34th Street. Hey, I'm gonna
are you calling your
call.
newspaper office?
Yeah, I'm gonna call my
Uh,
secretary.
all right. You call your secretary. She picks up. And she says, "Hello, Mr. Murphy's office.
Hey, listen,
Doris
Dolly.
speaking."
Dolly. It's Terry.
Oh, hey Terry, how's it going?
Wonderful, dear. You will not believe where I'm at right now. Seattle, God's country. Absolutely nothing to do around here.
What the hell are you doing in Seattle? Oh my God, that's so far away.
Ghost trains, my dear, ghost trains.
Ghost trains. That doesn't sound like an article. Now, Terry, are you making sure that you're doing something good so that we got food on the table tonight? You know, my paycheck is next week.
Yeah, it's I'm following up on some. I'm following up on some leads here, Dolly.
Oh
Um,
my God, you're on one of these other crazy stories, aren't you, that you're not going to publish?
well, I
Yep.
probably will publish this one. I can
Are
weave a
you
good
sure?
story of a great caper, after all.
This sounds like the whole fun fair thing all over again. You were on with that one for ages, and then I never heard anything about. There was no story published.
Well, first of all, Dolly, the fun fair was not a good story, and New Yorkers would not read things about a haunted carnival
Well, then why the hell did you go there for all that time?
for the hot dogs.
Terry, just tell me you're not in Seattle for the food.
D- my dear, trust me, Seattle has no food to speak of.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Listen, I'm going to be running a little late, and perhaps, and when I mean late, I mean days and perhaps weeks.
Days and weeks, what are you talking about? You gotta get back. This whole train thing that you're on, you've already been scooped. There's already a newspaper article out.
Yeah, I understand. However,
Scott
prior.
Brown scooped you.
All right, first of all, Scott Brown can go to hell. I can kiss my ass. And second of all, this is quite important to me. Let's just say I have family out here. We'll go with that excuse. I'm visiting family. God knows
All
why.
right, all right.
Listen, I need you to take some things down for me real quick.
All right, I got my pen. What do you want?
All right. Listen, I need you to pop down over to the Natural History Museum, but if you can, or perhaps the Met,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
see if you can find anything about the Native tales, Native Americans, the Indians.
Right.
Yes, involving snakes, perhaps, and electricity and rail.
Snakes, electricity, rail. Got it.
Yes, any sort of tales of those in that sort of context.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. I'll see what I can find out and I'll let you know. How do you want me to telegraph you or do you want to make me another call in tomorrow?
Uh, I'll give you another call, Dolly.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Terry, but I'm telling you, you better hurry up. Scott Brown
I
scooping you.
I will, and for what it's worth, Scott Brown isn't worth the mud in our shoes. All right.
I'm telling you, if he offers
And
me a job, if he's scooping you, I might just take it. He's been
first,
trying to get me
okay,
for years.
Dolly, you're breaking my heart. And second of all, tell the chief that Scott Brown pulls news stories out of his ass and has no substantiation whatsoever. And he went to community college.
I'll tell the boss. I'll tell the boss. I got your back, you know that, Terry.
You always do. Love you. Ta-ta.
All right, bye-bye. Okay. Um,
I'll make my
back
way back.
in.
Yeah,
Are you gonna make your way back?
I'll just have a quick smoke and then I'll head back over to Ken and the professor
Okay.
around that area.
When you get there, you walk back to the office and you see quite the mess. The Professor Whitehead. Professor Whitehead is still sitting there looking at words, kind of looking at Professor Gray, kind of going like, "I don't see it, really." And Professor Gray is just looking very confused. And Ken is leaning against a table, sort of like rubbing his temples. And you can see he's got a page in front of him, but he's actually got it turned upside down, and he's just rubbing his head like he's got a crazy headache. Professor Gray, we're gonna head back to you for just a second.
Mhm.
You kind of like you're sitting there and you've just figured out something important, but you just can't
Mm.
remember it. You remember you
Ah.
were in Clayellum and that you were researching a train, and you remember waking up this morning and getting breakfast, and now you don't know where the hell you are. You
Mm.
know who Terrance and Ken are. You're not sure who the guy sitting next to you is, who's like, I don't get it. What are you talking about? And it's all very confusing. How do you react? What do you do?
I think Terrance sorry, not Terrance. The professor is kind of sat there with a very distant look on his face, like trying to piece together the pieces of what you've described there, trying to understand what's happening. And
Okay.
as I guess one of them comes in, he's like, "Oh, thank fuck. I had thought I felt like I had something, but now where the fuck am I? What is this?"
What are you
Terrance,
talking?
I think that
What
question is, yeah.
what are we talking about?
Um, I
Ugh.
I don't know. I
What's wrong with
I
you, Mr. Whitmore?
remember. Oh, go.
I'm kind of looking
I've been
confused, just like puffing
sorry,
puffing my
just
cigarette.
been staring at this paper too long. Got a headache. I think I need air. And he like just stands up and goes outside, completely ignoring the professor and
Mhm.
Trentmore.
I
I suppose. Professor, how goes the translation?
There was a translation. I what?
The sheet of paper you're looking at.
Looks down at the paper like he's seeing it for the first time. What the hell is this? Oh, it's the folio from the from the train.
Professor Gray, this is your idea of a practical joke. I'm not laughing. Yeah,
Neither
yeah,
am I.
you're missing a punchline here.
I wish there was one. I genuinely have a block in my memory from leaving Clayellum to now.
Well, I know the perfect lubricant to help those wheels get greased. Mr. Whitehead, do you have any whiskey? Do you perhaps?
He looks at you and he says,
We won't tell.
no,
Pinky
not
promise.
at all. And then he takes his globe, because of course it's a globe, and
Hmm.
opens it. And inside there's like one of those little whiskey sets that's inside of a globe, because I love those. They're so cool. I want one.
Yeah, Professor Gray, have some apple
It's
juice.
pretty cheap.
But yeah, the professor is kind of very much not all here presently, so just kind of follows willingly, has some alcohol, does the usual when it actually like bites on the back of his throat. It's like, okay, now my throat's on fire and I'm still confused.
I will say that I think that in this context, the dulling of your mind that alcohol
Mm,
does might actually help a little bit.
okay,
It gives you that little bit of separation from everything else that just happened in your head,
sure,
or lets you see it sort of from afar a little bit. So while you still don't remember, you don't feel as um, you don't feel that sense of like oppression and terror and like eldritch horror
sure,
that you were feeling moments ago. It's still there, you're just like a little bit removed from it.
sure. Disassociated from it.
Offer I offer him a
Yeah.
cigarette as well.
Um, no, thank you. I don't think I've ever smoked.
You're
Oh,
missing
at this
out.
point, Ken comes back in. All right, going outside was a bad idea. Too much sun. and somehow he has a wet rag. You don't know where he got it. He doesn't know where he got it. And he just sits down and just puts it over his eyes and leans back. I have a headache. Give me a minute. Sorry.
Oh, Professor Gray seems to have a case of the I don't remembers. Professor Whitehead, have you made any any heads or tails of this folio?
No, Professor Gray said, "Oh, I see," and then uh, looked confused. Professor, you don't remember what it was? You seemed like you almost had the solution there for a moment. I'd love
I
to know what this says.
I I have the feeling like I had something huge and indescribably complicated in my mind for a second, and that's about all I have is just an impression. I don't know what it was. I'll be honest, I don't remember talking to you before this moment.
Sorry, quick
Oh,
question. Does Terrance know you're a war veteran? You're a great war veteran?
Uh, yeah, I think it probably would have come up. He probably,
Casual conversation in between.
yeah.
Professor Whitehead, you'll have to forgive him. He was a veteran of the Great War. Perhaps shell shock. Maybe we'll take a lunch break. Or an early dinner. Supper. It's been a long day.
That sounds good.
We also got to catch our train back in a few hours.
Precisely.
Tried, and he holds up the paper with the prophecy that Trent wrote. I tried decoding this a little bit. I got some of them, but then
Hmm.
then I just kept on hearing a train in the background. It just got louder and louder. Felt like my head was going to explode.
Yes, you're very stressed right now, Mr. Whitmore. Yes? Let's not talk about. I'm gonna lean in very closely to him, very quietly. Let's not talk about things like this in front of mixed company.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hush,
This is
hush.
the fourth. I might have to remind you. This is the fourth time this has happened. Just today.
Sorry. He like rubs his back of his head.
I'm not exactly a rat, but unfortunately, I will have to tell headquarters about this. Steel
all right.
yourself, man. Get a hold of yourself.
Ted just
And I'll
nods.
and I'll just go back and like, let's have lunch, or
Sure.
whatever time it is right now. We'll have early supper or lunch.
Food. Yeah, it's probably around supper time. You guys head to just around the corner from the museum is one of those little touristy pubs that seems to exist near all tourist traps. That is an English pub, she says in heavy quotation marks, uh, that serves food and drink and is just a place where you can go. It's fairly quiet because you are a little bit early for dinner, and so you can sit down and talk freely and maybe come up with a plan, decide what you're going to do before your train ride home.
Hmm.
Terrence
Professor,
has.
you're starting to feel a bit better, although
Mhm.
you still can't remember. You don't have complete amnesia now. You can
Okay.
remember coming to like coming from Clay Elm, you remember coming here, you remember this, you just can't remember what the translation was. You had it
Okay.
for a moment and it's just
Yeah.
gone now.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Perhaps this ghastly attempt at a British pub is jogging my memory a little. I remember more of today, but I can't remember what the translation said. I had it. I had it for a moment, and it just fell through my grasp like sand on a beach.
Is it the power of this? And he looks around to make sure no one's
Mm.
eavesdropping. Because he's like, okay, I'm already on hot shit. Better make this better. And is it the power of the outer being thing?
I mean, possibly
Like,
some things are too big for our can be too big for our minds to comprehend. Imagine an ant trying to understand the internal workings of a human.
So anything that shares a link to this thing can mess with someone's head like this? Because I've never had a headache that bad in my life.
It
And I've
seems
gotten
that way,
knocked
yeah.
around a few times. You'd had a couple concussions.
It seems like that would be the case.
And again, Ken takes a piece of paper out with the prophecy and he puts it down. I think this tells us how to stop the thing. I was able to figure out a few things, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lost cry, the hollow rails, that has to be the passengers, right? In the train.
Sure. Yes.
And where their tokens lie, cold and wanted hands, that has to be where we threw all the items up before the tunnel.
Yeah.
So the serpent coiling, that must be right before the tunnel. Its body is made of ash and iron. I bet the
Yeah.
wood they use for the train tracks was ash trees. Those hold up very nice.
Well,
And then
ash
they
is also a
use,
byproduct of the burning of coal.
oh yeah, that could be it too. And the iron are the tracks.
Yes. I was looking through that and I came to similar conclusions. The bit that confuses me is the where its shadow sleeps.
Now that I think I got that. That must be the shadow of the tunnel.
Okay. Um of the hill that it goes into.
Yeah. And
But
so the wound has to be the entrance of the tunnel, right?
okay.
So we
Salt
pour
across the
salt
wound.
the wound, which is the entrance of the tunnel. But the walk in the circle thrice thing, that's what I'm not getting.
Walk in a circle. The snake on the image we've seen is going counterclockwise. Do I remember that correctly? No, it is going clockwise. Okay. Every step is a link undone. So do we go counterclockwise in a circle? I don't know what it means by the sin of motion, though. Sloth is the sin of emotion. What would be that? And the tongue of steam falls silent. So that's clearly the plume of smoke from the train itself.
Right.
And the hammer finds the heart of iron.
Now that, because they used to nail down rail spikes with a hammer.
Okay.
So we need to find a hammer and a spike, and we shove it and we nail it down to the heart. Now
But
that
what is the heart? Is that the
the
engine of the
heart,
train? Because everything, the body forged in ash and iron, suggests obviously it's the body of the train.
oh, I thought the body was the snake, and it was formed of the
The
ash
the
and iron of the tracks,
I think
the
the
wood of
snake is
ash
being
and the.
formed of the body of the train. That's my.
Wait, you're saying the train's the actual snake?
Not necessarily the actual snake, but like is a symbol for it in these sorts of rituals. There's a lot of symbology. Think of the blood of Christ being being wine, the body of Christ being a wafer. We humans have done this sort of thing for millennia. These things have power.
Well, I thought the tongue of steam falls silent is if we destroy the heart, the train will. No, that's the last bit. So if we destroy the heart, then the sleepers may awake, and the people aboard the train are asleep,
Mm,
and the rails will remain silent. So that means it won't happen again, right? I think it's got something to
hopefully.
do with the rails and not really the train, the tracks. I think we got to do a little ritual with salt over the wound. I'm a little just confused. We just got to destroy the heart of iron, right?
Yes, but what the heart of iron is the complication. I wish I could remember what that interpretation was, because that might have given us the clue for this.
Might. So we'll head back. Hopefully your memory
Yeah,
returns.
I hope so.
And then either we got to get back on the train and smash the heart is the steam engine of the train,
I guess so,
or
yeah.
we have to go back to the tunnel, put some salt over the tunnel entrance, go
Hmm.
inside a little bit, and hopefully the first light. I don't know.
Problem is where it says where shadow sleeps, and I still don't understand what that is, because the shadow of an object is determined by the time of day, right? It's the angle of the sun.
Maybe it's the shadow of this ancient being. We're only dealing with its shadow. It's not its true form.
I mean, I hope so.
I have to remind you that the tunnel itself is pitch black,
Yes.
so any light source will draw a shadow.
Maybe the shadows. It's pitch black. Its shadow sleeps in the tunnel.
Yeah. So that means the crossing is the entrance.
I mean, it would make sense.
Draw what mark though?
That
Literally a mark, or draw as in like a card,
or draw the
a
the
symbol?
symbol of the snake. Yeah.
With what? Salt, blood, charcoal, feces,
Anything, probably.
urine.
Draw mark. Hmm.
What if? And Ken looks more. What if we draw the mark? It's a circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
We dance around it, and then we slam a hammer right in the middle of it, right at the entrance. I'm just guessing at this point.
Hmm.
Well, we need to head back, get a good night's
Yes.
rest, and do something in the morning. The train, and he looks at his pocket watch again. I saw it the other day at 6:02. It looks like it showed up at the station and left at 6:05.
Hmm.
So we have 3 minutes once it shows up. If it shows up again, and if we got on it a bunch of times and times reset before we enter the tunnel and we threw an item out every time, then if we get on the train, we have until we reach the tunnel before time resets again, right?
Seems that way.
This is what according to the prophet
Hmm.
and the items we found. Because nothing showed up after the tunnel. It was always
No.
before the tunnel.
Seems that way. Yes.
So we either have to stop the train before it enters the tunnel again by being on it, and I bet we've tried a dozen times. Uh, didn't you say you found a pin in the doll that resembles one of those pins that are they connect the cars?
Yes.
Not a
So the
pin,
stop.
a chip of it, a piece of iron,
Hmm.
possibly from said pin.
Oh,
Maybe we use that in the center of the circle. We hit that with a hammer.
Kinder's drugs. We could try that. But
Yeah. Well.
unhooking the cars didn't seem to work in the past. So
Apparently
we gotta
not.
stop. We gotta stop the engine because
Seems
we weren't.
like.
The engine was still gone forward. Even if we stopped the cars, the engine would have gone through the tunnel, and that would have reset things.
Yes.
I don't suppose anybody has a large bucket of water.
if we get to it before it starts going, that might work. If we dump it down the chute, that'll cause a steam explosion. Might blow the engine.
Mm. And kill us in the process.
Most likely. But it'll be in the station idle for at least 3 minutes.
I was not suggesting throwing it down the chute. I was just, well, if we had a hose of water or a bucket of water, we'd dump it into the furnace, kill the coals.
Yeah.
That would most definitely not explode the engine, as one would say.
Mm.
Well, proper shutdown would be shut the coal entrance, and then hit the the main brake, then the emergency brake.
Something tells me the brakes are going to be stuck.
I bet we've tried it in the past too, and they didn't work.
Although there's always the option of detaching the first car from the rest.
Which I think we tried too. We already tried attaching the cars, and that didn't work.
Well,
If
we don't know that, do we?
We don't. But it seemed that item we have is a pin or piece of a pin. I bet we've even tried blowing it up once. Didn't they say they found some items that were halfway burnt? Weren't some of the items kind of burnt and covered in grease or
Yeah,
something?
shipping invoice partially burned.
We may have even tried exploding it once or twice, or derailing it.
Yeah, maybe our challenge is to do that, like not from the train, but prevent the train from being able to go through close the door before the train can reach it.
Right. We stop it at the entrance. It goes through and it arrives where it was supposed to arrive. And maybe
Yes.
we go back to where we were a couple weeks back or further.
We can hope.
Like this never happened.
That would be the best for everyone.
All right, our train leaves here in a bit to get us back to the city. Do we want to try to catch the train tonight, or do we want to head back out there tonight and try to do this tonight? Because we'll still have a little time before. No, he looks.
No, it's way too late for that.
Yeah. By the time we get
especially by
back,
the time
the
we get
train.
back, yeah.
So tomorrow, do we head out there, or do we head to the train, or do we try to do both?
I don't know. I need to try and work out what that information was. That will hopefully color what we should do going forward.
Maybe a good night's rest will help jog your memory.
I hope so.
Well, gentlemen, there is always one option. There
Hmm.
is. It'll be a rather difficult physical task, and that is to remove the wood, or rather, use one of the planks among the rails to derail the train itself. Or perhaps throw logs onto it. There was a logging camp, after all, nearby.
Let's save that for last resort.
Yeah.
I'd rather not spend the rest of my life in prison, or at least a good chunk of it. You won't see me part no Chang gang.
So be it.
All right. And with some ideas and a lot of questions, you guys head to the train station where you take the train back to Clay Ellum. When you arrive back in town, it is quite late at night, early morning the next day kind of idea. You head back to the boarding house and get some sleep. And we are going to take our break now, and we will start tomorrow morning with you feeling hopefully a little bit refreshed, and we will pick up from there. So let's take 10. It is past right now, so we'll meet back at 22 the hour, and you guys are in the home stretch.
Awesome. All right. See you in 10.
See you in 10.
See you.
All right, and we are back with our final segment here of the Prophet of the Iron Serpent. You guys have just arrived back at Clayellum. You had a long train ride back. You probably dozed a little bit on the train, gave yourselves some mental time to recover. Professor Gray, as you sort of spent some time on the train, and it allowed you to kind of like start getting some of those memories back about going all the way out to Seattle and what you saw then. You still can't fully remember everything, but by the next morning you are back to yourself,
Okay.
and you're feeling pretty good about things. Ken, same with you, except you recover a little bit more quickly even. Once you get on the train and you head out of Seattle, your headache is gone at this point, and you're feeling a lot better. Maybe a bit concerned about what is to come. Maybe obviously there's still a lot of questions, but hopefully those folio pages will have the answers.
Hmm.
A couple things. One,
Yeah.
when and how do you recover sanity? I couldn't find anything
You
stating that.
That's the
don't.
secret. You don't.
You never recover sanity? Okay, that's
Oh.
I think
interesting.
like with long periods of rest and like appropriate mental care, probably you'll get it back. But in functional like day-to-day life as an adventurer, not happening.
Duly noted.
It's my imagination of it.
Another
Yeah.
thing, either late, like before we clock in or go back to the boarding home, Ken will head over to the hardware store and buy a big bag of rock salt, thinking we might need it the next day.
Okay. You'll have to do that the next day because you
Okay.
arrive, as I said, you kind of arrive like 1, 2 in the morning, kind of back to Clayellum. It's a long ride back from Seattle, and you guys left kind of after dinner.
Perfectly makes sense.
So yeah, so in the morning you get up early, you head on out, you pop to the general store and you pick up a big bag of rock salt. They use it for all kinds of things here. I don't imagine it's terribly difficult to find. Um, Professor Gray,
Mm-hmm.
you are feeling you're feeling a bit better. You feel like if you look at the folio again, you think it will come back to you and you think you can interpret it.
Okay.
I will make you roll a sanity roll.
Oh boy.
So it's up to you if you choose to
Like
do that or not.
we need that information, right? So I kind of
We
can't
do.
not.
Okay, let's you steal yourself.
Yep.
Where do you do it? Do you do it in your room? Do you go somewhere? Where do you ask
Um.
someone to be with you while you do it?
Yeah, I maybe get one of the guys to be there. I'm gonna read this. It could go worse than it did last time.
All right, we'll watch over you. Hopefully,
Hmm.
do you want to be tied down before you try reading it? You think you might go
Yeah, that might work.
Fang? All right, Ken takes a belt and ties your hands together,
I mean, I'm
and
gonna
then
need them to look at the. Well, I
I'll turn
might
the
need it to like
pages.
turn. Okay, fine. Just
I'll,
don't
I'll
read
I'll
it.
turn the. I won't read it. And he ties his hand, and he looks at Terrance. I only got one belt. Can you use yours to tie his feet?
You're afraid that Professor Gray is going to walk out on us.
I'm more afraid
Or
that he's going to
worse.
grow fangs and try biting one of us.
I don't imagine that's on the menu, but I also don't imagine I'll be particularly in control of my faculties if this goes wrong.
I've been bit once in the last couple days. I really don't want to be bitten again.
Yeah,
Sorry, Professor.
that's entirely fair. That's entirely fair.
Then how about I recommend? I'd rather, gentlemen, I'd rather not use my nice leather belt. However, Professor, you feel free to pull your pants down to your legs in case you feel the urge to get up.
Kent just looks at him like, really?
Oh, I'll use my belt for fuck's sake. And does it.
All right. And he holds the little, I think it was loose paper because we didn't have the actual
Yeah,
book.
folio, yeah.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
he holds them up to you. All right. And he he first puts him in way too close to your face. And like you can't read that way.
Back a bit. Back away a bit.
You're like, oh yeah, okay.
Sorry, I'm not
And he tries to-
short-sighted.
On the table, Mr. Whitmore. On the damn table, please.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. And were you on the sitting down when we did this, or were you standing?
Probably be like sat in a chair.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, he just puts him in front. All right, I'm not looking.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get a sanity check, please, from the professor.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, if you
Professor, you
That's
take
only 3 luck.
1 point of sanity damage from looking at the folio, but no more than that.
If I turn that into a... Okay, I'm going to spend 3 luck to turn that into a hard success and hope that...
Okay, that will negate
Okay.
any damage at all.
Okay, then we'll do
Nice.
that.
Okay. You take a look at the page. There's a moment where it looks like a serpent sliding across the page. And you sort of like close your eyes, you take a deep breath, you look at it again, and you remember.
Okay. I kind
You
of...
know how close you were?
Yeah.
Eureka!
Emblem or token of the taken passengers, iron filings or ashes of ash wood laid in the serpent's mark. Despite something's feel free. All 3 of those cut. This circuit recurrence, such acts perilous, the circle devours all cycles, even those are men of stone, yet may be done.
Yeah. Do you mind not mumbling, Professor?
He'd like, free my hands, I need to write this down. Don't worry, no fangs.
Diction will be fine enough. Go ahead.
All right, fine. I'll dictate it. He like dictates this.
Okay.
Keep
Do you
forgetting
actually want
guys
to
are-
read it out loud just in case people on stream can not read it?
Yes, to break the serpent's grasp upon a place, or free those whom it has swallowed into its endless passage, the practitioner must cut the circle of recurrence. Such act is perilous, for the serpent devours all cycles, even those of men in stone, yet it may be done. If the signs are known and the will is strong, perform this ritual in the shadow of the wound at the precise time the reoccurrence begins. Materials required: an emblem or token of the taken passengers, iron and filings or ashes of ashwood laid in the form of the serpent's mark, salt to cross the mark and wound it, a hammer or spike of iron to strike the final blow. The rite: let the circle be drawn with filings or ash. The serpent's form is complete. The serpent form complete. Set the passenger's token at the center, for it is the anchor between worlds. Lay the line of salt across the circle so that the serpent's body is broken. Walk thrice counterclockwise. I got that right. Let's go. Each time speaking the chant. On the final recitation, strike the circle with the iron tool so the cycle is undone. The chant, his name, coil unbound, throat the swallows, spit the out, serpent of iron, your spine is broken, the track is cut, the journey ended, his name, his name, his name. Note in margin written in different hand, repeat no fewer than thrice. The voice may answer it. If it does, do not falter. Strike it once or be taken whole. Effect: if properly taken, the phantom journey shall collapse, the serpent shall recoil, and the lost may be freed. If the rite falters, the serpent shall tighten its coil, drawing all who trespass into its endless passage. Okay, so we don't do this on the train. We do this at the entrance to the...
so I was right about that. Okay.
Yes. We do that at the entrance of the tunnel. Like,
See why
I
my
guess
jaw was on the
half an hour?
floor while you
Yeah.
guys were like figuring all this out? I was like, holy smokes, we get this.
All right. So good on you, Professor. It looks like this is we actually make the circle at the entrance of the tunnel of ash, wood, and iron filings.
And we need to start this at 6:02, I guess, the precise time the reoccurrence begins.
Which is 6:02, and they leave at 6:05, according to where I
Yes.
was.
Yes.
All right.
And in filings, I'll pull the chipped off piece of rod.
Yeah, I think that's our
Inside the
hammer or iron spike to strike the final blow.
Also, the doll we can use as the
Yes.
passenger's item.
Yes. Perfect.
So we put the doll in the middle, and exactly. Do we start at 6:02 or
Yes.
do we
We
strike
started
it
at 6:02.
6:02?
Perform the
Okay.
ritual in the shadow of the wind at the precise. I assume that's on the final recitation. Yeah, it doesn't say that it has to be it has to be done at the time of the start. So I assume we start it.
Start the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we could draw the circle on the ground, but we don't start walking around it speaking the ritual until 6:02.
Yes.
And then we go around 3 times. Does one person do it, or all 3 of us?
I don't know. That is not specified.
Anyone here can make me an occult check, or
I
everyone
will-
here can make me an occult check.
Let's go.
I have
you
a
got it.
0 on that, so I'm not going to even try.
Professor Gray's extreme success will give you the knowledge that you need. So yes, so you know that the train actually arrived at the station earlier than 6:02, but 6:02 is the time that it keeps showing up at the station, which means that is the precise time that the occurrence began. So that is the precise time when you need to start the ritual.
Okay.
That's why there's that discrepancy.
Yeah.
The reoccurrence hadn't occurred until 6:02. That was when it was taken. The other thing is the more people performing the ritual, the better. You are aware, Professor Gray, that performing a ritual like this will cost some power.
Mhm.
And the more people you have doing it, the less individual cost, the more it will be spread across those performing the ritual.
Yeah. Also 3 being a occultly significant number in a lot of
In a lot of cultures, yes.
Yeah.
A ridiculous amount, actually.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I'll
There was a
relay
thing
that.
on the History Channel that had a episode about stuff like that. I remember watching
Oh,
when I
neat.
was a kid. The Occult, I think it was called, or something like that.
Well, gentlemen, let us calibrate our watches.
Yep.
All right, and we can get some iron shavings at the blacksmith in town. I think they still
I
have
don't
blacksmiths in
know.
this time period, don't they?
I'm just thinking, I don't know if there's a ton in the 1920s, but this is a rural town. There is farming, so there's likely a blacksmith to tend to the horses. So there is probably one around. Yeah.
I have to be honest, I'm probably a little more comfortable using the Bible amongst the items. Perhaps that shall aid us with the divine powers above.
Do you want to stab a Bible?
You don't stab the Bible. We strike the piece of iron on it. I'd much rather do that instead of a child's.
We strike the circle, not the item in the middle.
Oh, yeah. I guess it doesn't say actually strike the token of the taken from the passengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says on the final recitation, strike the circle with the iron tool.
Yeah, I guess.
Mr. Whitmore, you shall be responsible for the striking. So you're the one that's the most physically capable out of the 3 of us.
Yeah, I'll just this little spike of iron. We're going to use that, right? The one that's in your pocket.
No, it's much too small. We will have to use something. We probably have to use something a little larger.
The hardware store might be able to get us a hammer, I suppose.
Yes, a hammer, perhaps.
All right, we'll go to the hardware store, get an iron hammer.
I'm assuming this chip is like the size of a quarter. Sorry, not you guys aren't fucking American.
I've seen
what's
the
the
equivalent.
I know what a Kody, I know you're American, but the other 2.
Canadian quarters are the same size as American quarters.
We don't have quarters. Woo!
All right, then I'm assuming like a pound. Was it like a 50 pence?
Pounds are a little bit smaller, but 50 pence are a little bit bigger. But in between the 2 of them.
Hang on.
In between, yeah. I'm assuming that chip is only like about that big, like not very big at all.
It's not huge. Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
small it's just
It's
a
gotta
small
fit
piece.
inside the doll. Fit inside a doll.
Yeah,
Wait,
I thought it
when I
was like shoved in the arm was mostly the arm of the doll was bigger.
I was picturing it more as like a the size of a railway spike
Yeah.
in terms of diameter, and then I was picturing it maybe 2.5 centimeters long, which is about an inch.
Okay.
like it's like
Then
a
yeah, we'll
scooped piece, like somebody
yeah,
scooped off a piece of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can easily get it higher in front. Like he'll
Yeah,
go
get
back out and see if he can buy some ashes, or at least some ash wood we
or
can burn.
just some ashwood to burn. Yeah, we can always
Yeah.
burn it while we're out there.
And some iron
lighters. We have lighters,
flakes.
lanterns. We have a lot of fire.
Yeah.
He already got the
Yeah.
salt. Rock
So
salt,
you guys,
dude, or are we gonna get something more
Just salt.
processed? Yeah, it'll work.
Salt.
Yeah,
rock salt's
whatever's
absolutely
easiest.
fine.
Yeah.
All right, that's what Ken will do in the morning while you guys get finish getting ready.
Later in the
Sure.
afternoon, because I'm gonna wait a little while. That's when I'm
Yep.
going to head over to probably the mayor's office, since they most likely have the telephone there, a wire there.
You can probably go to the railway station. You're
Oh yeah,
kind of working for them, and the station would have one. I can't see why they wouldn't.
oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'll go over there then.
so yeah, you head to the railway station,
Dial New York.
and yeah, you call, and once again, Doris picks up. Mr. Murphy's office. Doris talking.
Dory, darling, it's Terry.
Gary.
What do you have for me? What do you have for me, dear?
All right, I looked up mythology involving snakes and indigenous populations, and I gotta say, there's a bit. And she's like, you can hear her, you can practically hear her like licking her finger as she like thumbs through her notes.
Yeah.
And she's one of those women with like long fingernails that's probably like painted in bright colors. And she's like, all right, here's we got.
Chewing gum.
Yeah. So there were people in the Cascade foothills that talk about a giant serpent spirit known as the Coil of the Earth. They call it Lalthshay.
All
It
right.
lives in mountain tunnels, in river cuts, and in deep fissures where stone and water meet. It shimmers, winding unseen beneath the earth and forest, linking valley to valley in a hidden web. And they say whenever the earth shook or a landslide happened, that was saying that the coils stirred. They also talk about a threshold guardian, a spirit marked places where the ordinary world ended and the other world began. Old tunnels, river crosses, deep ridges, that kind of thing. People don't go there after dark because they would say that the coil's passage might fold the world, whatever that means. They say that shedding a snake's skin was taken to mean as renewal and repetition. And seeing a snake skin meant that you were in a cycle, or at the beginning of a cycle, or the end of a cycle, because they began and ended at the same time, you know?
Yeah, no.
That one messed with my head a
I
bit.
know. I know. I hear you.
They say that snakes embody the idea that journeys can loop back and time can fold, especially where rock meets unnatural paths. So they were very careful about where they created their pathways when they were creating not roads, but paths between one place and another. They said that snakes both made and destroyed, carving river channels, but also bringing floods and landslides. And then there's a bunch of old stories. There's one about a man who heard a hiss at the mouth of a mountain cave, and he entered thinking it was a new passage. And then he emerged years later, old, and found his home was gone, and The elders of his tribe said that he'd been caught in a coil's loop.
All right, I run. Excuse me. Dory, this is wonderful, wonderful. This is wonderful. You are the most beautiful woman in the world, in all the high heavens.
Oh, Mr. Terry, don't say such things. You know I'm married.
Now, listen, dear. I'm going to need you to do me a favor.
What do you need
Possibly,
this time? No wonder you
I'm gonna
butted
need.
me up.
I'm gonna need you to ghostwrite for me. I need to get ahead of I need to get ahead of Scott Brown. That hack.
All right, what do you want?
Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to write. And I give her a story involving the train,
Okay.
but nothing involving the snake stuff.
Right. Yep. She takes down your dictation. This is probably something you guys have done hundreds of times.
Yep.
And Doris she's difficult to deal with, but she's very good at what she does. And she's got a shorthand that she can just basically write at the speed that you are, or type, I suppose, at that point, at the speed that you are speaking, and then she'll, translate it into something that normal people can understand, because typists who type like that crazy stuff are just magic, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
And yes, she types it up, she creates the story, and she will pass it on to your editor for you.
Yep.
Uh,
And here's the
and,
byline. And Dory, here's the byline. Scott Brown is a horrible human being, and I heard he beats his wife.
Mr. Terry, you're hilarious.
Unfortunately, in those days, that wasn't a crime.
Right.
Depending on who you talk to.
I
It was
mean,
kind of like it was pretty 50-50.
it was still a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, it was shitty,
people were
but it
like,
wasn't
"What's
a
wrong with
crime.
you?" But they would be like, "Oh yeah, maybe she deserved it." She's being a little crazy. I guess so.
She was having, what is it, vapors?
Yeah. She's
Hysteria.
being a bit crazy.
Hysteria was the big thing.
But yes, so you guys spend as little time on the phone as possible, because it was very expensive.
Yep.
But she gets your story down, and we'll make sure that it is published.
Yeah, make sure it's published by the end of the week if I'm not back.
I'll give it to the editor right away.
You are a lifesaver. You are a cool drink in you are a cool drink in an expansive desert, Dory.
Oh, Mr. Terry.
Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Murphy. I know, but she calls you Mr. Terry because you're friends.
All right, bye-bye, Dory. Have a
All
good
right, you
one.
take care.
I shall be back quite soon, hopefully.
That's what you always say.
Yeah.
And she hangs up on you. Okay, so Terrance, you've got your story out. Ken has gone to the general store and picked up the items that you require for your ritual. Professor Gray, is there anything that you would like to do to prepare?
I will go to the sheriff's office and get one of the items of evidence, like the Charles doll or whatever.
What do
Bible.
you take?
The Bible.
The Bible. Okay, the party has spoken. I'll take the Bible.
Okay, you take
It's
the Bible.
it's actually small enough that I can slip it into a pocket and leave. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
makes
think he
sense,
has
yeah.
a problem with you taking it.
Okay.
When you tell him it's for the investigation, at this point, the sheriff is fully bought
Fully on board.
into the fact that you guys are trying to help. And if you say that will aid in your investigation, then he will absolutely hand it over.
Okay.
With that, you guys head to the train station. You hop on the train, and then you are let off at the edge of the entrance to the Clay Elm Tunnel, or otherwise known as the Taft Tunnel or the St. Paul's Pass. It's eerie when you arrive, because it's not eerie. It is a nice sunny day. The trees are beautiful. It's pleasant, and yet you know that, knowing what you know, there's just this weird juxtaposition. The sun is shining. You can hear birds. Uh, if it wasn't for what you had to do, you might be inclined to go for a nice walk through the forest and just enjoy the nature and the sunshine. And yet you have much, much more important things to do. What do you do? How do you prepare? Let's start there.
So yeah, I think once we know that there's no more trains expected before 6:02, I would suggest we start laying the circle.
Any
Like once we,
objections?
Yeah, go first.
Hmm.
I want to start.
would
Oh wait,
burn.
we should probably sort of gotten soaked some rags in like gasoline or kerosene to make lighting things on fire.
Yeah, we'll burn the ash when we get here, make a little bonfire or something, and then
Sure.
make the circle.
Anyone good at making sand melees?
Making what?
Sam,
Sorry,
what?
Sand melees.
What's a melee?
Melees? Am I saying that
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
You speak in English?
Oh,
right? Melees.
mandala.
Mandela.
Dollar. Ah. Yeah. All I know is like art monks make with sand.
Mhm.
Yes. Fortunately, you don't need to make anything complicated, just a circle.
Yeah.
I thought we had to draw the snake symbol inside the circle.
It seems like we do.
perfectly.
Yeah. In the form of the serpent's mark. So yeah, we'll do the circle and then try and like roughly draw it out. Like we've got time, do it with a stick or something. Make the shape.
Okay.
Are you're using the salt and the ashes from the ash trees to do that? Sorry, not the
No.
salt. So you're using the filings and the ash from the ash trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Filings and iron.
Yeah. Iron filings and some ashes of ash laid out into that shape.
Okay. Um, I don't think you need to roll anything for that. It's a pretty basic symbol. I mean, it was carved
Hmm.
into a tree.
Yeah.
It's something that you're able to do, and you've got a decent amount of time to get it down and to get it right. And it also doesn't have to be huge. It just has to cross the tracks from what you've read on your folio, and you can see the size of the road here. So you sprinkle it down, the three of you, and make the adjustments. It's a little bit difficult to make sure that it's unbroken as it goes over top of the tracks, but you think you've done a pretty good job of creating the circle, of creating the symbol.
Put the Bible in the middle. And
Yeah.
at the start of the ritual, we dump the salt on, right? Crossing it out. Or is it before the ritual?
We do that before we walk around it. So yeah, I think maybe we do that like last thing before we start walking. Like 6:01, lay the 6:01:50, lay the salt across. 6:02, start walking.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And before we start, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the mighty. You shall not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day. 116, Psalms. Hopefully he's looking after us.
Something
Professor,
like
I
the
understand
shadow of death.
you're a Protestant heathen, but hopefully that cuts through anyways.
The words are comforting, even if I don't necessarily believe them.
Yeah, I should have played up a little more because Terrance is Irish, and his family obviously came over
Yeah.
like just now.
Just now.
Well, not just now, but this generation.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very Catholic is what you're saying.
Very, yeah.
And they have a whole lot of reasons not to like British people, so I can entirely understand that.
There's a religious part and
There's
the whole other subjugation part.
Small matter of a mild genocide, just a slight bit of genocide.
Slight?
Just a slight bit of genocide for about 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Just a slight bit.
Yeah.
Itsy bit of genocide. Anyway, sorry.
A little bit more than itsy bit, but yeah.
Minor genocide aside, um, you, you guys, you've created your circle, you created your symbol, you've placed the Bible at
Mhm.
the center, you've said your prayers, you've gotten yourselves ready, and then you have the hardest part,
Mhm.
the waiting. So I would like to. We haven't done this in this game, but I do like to do this in my D&D games. I want a check in with your characters. What is going through your character's head right now? How are they feeling, and what are they doing? Is that being outwardly expressed, or are you holding it together? Just kind of talk to me about where your character is mentally in this time frame, waiting for that second hand to keep ticking and hit the right number. Um, who would like to go first?
Well, Terrance would be sort of sat down along the one of the one of the sides of the embankments,
Sure.
just like sort of man spreading, a sense, just like
Mhm.
widespread, and just he's just smoking, chain smoking, going through his lucky strikes.
Okay.
He's always cool, calm, collected about. He's done this a bunch of times already, but that's always the trepidation of the final bout, the final leg of the race, in case
Mhm.
Mm.
he enjoys being alive, and he doesn't like dying. Is not a particularly fun concept for him.
No.
So yeah, there's always that anxiety, that the butterflies, the adrenaline is starting to like build and build and build. Sort
Yeah.
of restless, a little bit of restless leg syndrome.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Let's keep going down the line that way then. So Ken, you're up next. What is Ken doing
Uh,
as he handling this?
Ken's like, was thinking back on this mission. It's not so bad. I mean, they're only 2 days in, he thinks. Um, except for being bitten, uh, and the whole that he might have repeated the same day over and over again without knowing it multiple times. He doesn't really think about that too much. He tries to not think about that.
Mhm.
That there have been multiples of him that have failed to stop this train, and according to the amount of items that have been thrown out, it could have been quite a few times. Um, and it's like, for a second mission, this ain't too bad. I gotta watch my mouth sometimes. I gotta take this more serious than I think actually it is. Um, but he has high hopes. We'll stop it this time, he thinks. And
I
if
have
it
a
doesn't,
question.
well, he doesn't know. Shoot.
He sort of came into this thinking that it was not anything paranormal.
Right.
He came into it thinking that there were other reasons for things happening. Has his mind sets shifted at all?
Um, quite a bit. Seeing the actual train in front of him, like
Mm,
it's more than just seeing it in front of me. He felt it in front of me. He didn't hear it. That kind of like just broke him a little bit
mm,
mentally, because I did
mhm.
lose some sanity there. Uh, and then getting bit by something with big freaking fangs, that shook him up a little bit more too. Like, people just shouldn't have teeth like that, and they shouldn't grow old as that guy did.
Mhm.
So a little bit more towards his paranoia stuff. Like in his last mission, there was some paranoia that gave him a little bit of nightmares, but he was able to patch that off after a couple weeks. Like, it wasn't what he thought it was. Oh yeah,
Right.
some strange stuff happened, but that was more in my head than actual reality. After a certain period of time, the sanity came back. Uh, and he's like, and he's kind of thinking about his first mission. Like, yeah, there was more stuff going in the background than I realized, wasn't there?
Interesting. Cool.
Uh,
Thank you.
but he still has his base in reality. Like, okay, we're gonna do a little dance around this. Something may happen, something may not happen. Who knows at this point?
Right. So there's still that kind of underlying belief that, like,
Yeah,
99% of stuff is not a cult, but now maybe there's a 1% chance that it is.
right. And that's what the keepers do. They do that 1%, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Thank you. Professor Gray.
The professor is he's taking the time. He's had a little read over his notes. He knows what he's got to do. So he's just sitting quietly and kind of meditating, doing some like mindfulness practice. Like, he's a psychologist. He knows how to He knows the theory of how to quiet thoughts, of how to like focus, of how to put everything in line, and that's what he's kind of focusing on doing now. He just sits quietly, eyes closed, hands in front of him, and just tries to go still, basically.
This is what he does, and this
Is what
here
he
we
does.
go.
Yeah, this is his method of focus and his method of blotting out all the noise and getting his mind where it needs to be.
Okay, awesome. So you have a little bit to wait, and I would imagine there's not a lot of words spoken, as it sounds like you kind of are all in your own
Yeah.
place, mentally preparing for what is to come. The hardest bit being you don't know what is to come.
Yeah.
But eventually, slowly, finally, after what feels like an eternity, the 550 hits, and you draw that salt line across the circle, and you get yourselves in position,
hmm
and you all stand there waiting with your watches, watching every second tick down.
Mm.
And at exactly 6:02, you begin the ritual.
Yeah. And
Showtime,
like
fellas.
say to remember, fellas, whatever you hear, whatever voices say to you, we keep going until we've done this at least 3 times, and then we hit the circle. Okay, Ken, I'm relying on you to hit the circle.
Ken's got his hammer. He's ready.
Good.
And I imagine it's a railroad hammer for driving on spikes they had at the
That would,
station.
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
fellas, this is our opportunity.
6:02 hits your watches. The air grows heavy, thick as coal smoke, as the daylight begins to fade beyond the mouth of the tunnel. The rhythmic hush of the wind dies, replaced by a deep vibration beneath your feet, like the low murmur of something ancient waking from below. The iron filings glint faintly in the light, coiled into the form of a serpent. The passenger's token, a Bible, rests in the center of the mark, its shape trembling as though caught between two worlds. When the salt is poured, it hisses against the iron like water on a forge. The scent of ozone and burnt metal fills your nostrils. The filings begin to quiver and then pull, sliding towards one another, forming scales, segments, ribs, a shape that shouldn't move, but does. The sound arises deep in the tunnel. Train whistle, distant, but wrong. The pitch wavers, splitting into 1,000 tones at once. The rails beside you begin to glow a dull red, bending and writhing like veins filled with molten blood. And then it comes. From the shadows deep within the tunnel, the iron serpent stirs. At first, it looks like the black smoke from a long dead engine, but the smoke condenses, taking form. A serpent, its hide stitched with glowing coals, its eyes twin lanterns burning with cruel intent. As it draws nearer, you see faces in its body, fleeting impressions of the lost passengers, screaming soundlessly as they are dragged through the coils. The temperature plummets, your breath clouds white. The serpent's voice is the grinding of metal, the shriek of wheels on steel. Cease this folly. You would break the circle. You would unmake the path. The journey has no end. The ground shakes violently. Sparks burst from the rails. The serpent rears high, half material, half shadow, ready to strike. If the ritual is to succeed, it must be completed now.
Time to go. Final destination, boys.
I pull my pistol out. Have it at the ready.
Okay. First of all, as you begin the ritual, you you feel the energy from the circle pulling from you as you begin to walk counterclockwise around it. Everyone, please remove 10 sanity each. As you are doing this as a team, you only have to remove 10. Just mechanically, if only one of you was doing this, it would cost 30. So it was a good choice to have
So,
everyone do it.
since we lost more than 5, we all have to make temporary madness
Oh,
rolls.
sorry, not sanity, power. Pardon me.
Oh,
Oh,
power.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Okay.
I'm
Phew. I
so
was about to
sorry.
say, like,
So
that's
sorry.
rip.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
10 power. My
Edit mode.
apologies.
Cost. Okay, so power goes down to 50.
Oh, so
Okay.
decreases from the actual power stat.
Is that
Correct.
how we're doing it? Okay.
Okay.
And then I would like everyone to make me power rolls as you begin to chant, walking around the circle for the first time. I do have an image, by the way, of the serpent. It's not quite as described, but I thought it was pretty friggin' cool. So
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That's a face. I thought it was
that's
a
a
monkey.
face.
He looks
Yeager
simian.
Shah. Not quite
Wait,
as metallic as I wanted, but turns out, can't have
so we were
everything.
supposed to minus our power by 10, like the whole
Yeah.
stat, not
Yes.
just take power points. Okay, sorry. I did magical points thinking it was power points.
No, I'm taking away some of your power.
Yeah, so I'm from 50 to 40.
I'm from 60 to 50.
And then we roll power.
Then
Yeah.
your
Yep.
power.
Here we go. I'm spending luck though.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'll spend luck
Now's the
too.
time, fellas.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
I'll
spending
spend. I'll
17
spend all
luck.
the last of my luck. I'll spend all 20.
16. At least you'll know you get some back next time. Good roll no matter what.
Yep.
Okay, so Ken, are you spending luck or are you leaving it
Yes.
as is? Okay. So you've gone down to 40,
Yes, it's a
spending 16 points.
regular. Yeah, 16 points.
Okay, Terrance, you're spending your luck to bring that down to 40 also?
Yep, I already minus the 17.
Okay. And
And I'm
Professor
spending
Gray,
the 20.
you're
My last 20 luck.
All right. You walk around in a circle, chanting the ritual. The first. Okay, where are we here? Folio. Na ye grish, Colin bound, throat that swallows, spit thee out. Serpent of iron, your spine is broken. The track is cut, the journey is ended. Na ye gresh, na ye gresh, na ye gresh. And as you say that, there is a hissing noise that comes from deep within the tunnel, and you hear the sound of a train rushing towards you. The train is coming from the direction of Clay Elam. It is the train that you are expecting, and it sounds like it's going to be on top of you at any moment. That is time number 1. I need time number 2. I need everyone to roll me power
Oh,
checks
fucking
as you
hell.
run around the circle again. Walk around the circle again.
Let's go.
Yes.
I'll use 17 luck.
All right. Ken uses 17 luck. 3 successes once again. You walk around the circle again. Na ye gresh, coil unbound, throat that swallows, spit thee out. Serpent of iron, your spine is broken, the track is cut, the journey ended. Na ye gresh, na ye gresh, na ye gresh. At this point, the train is almost on top of you, and that thing that is coming from the tunnel is getting louder and louder And the voice in your head says, "Stop now, you cannot break the cycle." Everyone, please make me sanity checks.
Oh, fuck.
I'm
Oh,
fine.
by 1. Ah,
Extreme success. Yes.
let's go.
Sorry.
I haven't taken any sanity damage yet, so I'm good.
Okay,
I'll pull on.
1d6 sanity damage.
Oh,
1
no.
point of sanity damage to both Terrance and Professor Gray. Professor, does that
I think that does
affect
take
you?
me over 15 sanity. No, hang on. I started the day down. I don't think I've taken 15 today yet.
Okay.
I think I'm like 2 points away from 15 of the day. Because it's
Excellent.
literally on a
11.
day. I read into it. It's on a day-by-day basis that you start talking about like indefinite insanity.
So here we go. Last time around the circle. Everyone, please make me power checks.
I'm gonna spend 4 luck to turn that into a hard. No, you know what? No. I'm gonna try to help you guys out if I can.
Mhm.
If this may help out, I'm gonna spend what's that? What's the difference? 16 luck
16. Yeah.
to make it to turn into a no. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm spending 23 luck to turn into a critical.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
And I get a hard success. Let's go. This is your final stop, motherfucker.
Dropping it to a 1.
Ken says the wrong name. Should I push
He
it,
messed
guys?
up.
No, I shouldn't push. I shouldn't push it.
No,
No,
don't.
no.
We've
No.
got a hard and
Favor.
a critical. I think we're okay.
The chant reaches its final verse. Trembling, desperate, half lost beneath the roar of the serpent. Each world seems to draw the world tighter like strings pulled to their breaking point. When the last syllable leaves your lips, Ken raises the iron hammer and brings it down into the circle. The impact rings out like a bell tolling deep underwater. For an instant, all sound vanishes. The air folds inward and then erupts in a rush of wind and blinding white light. The filings explode outward, spinning like a cyclone of metallic dust. The serpent lets out a shriek that isn't so much heard as felt, a tearing vibration in your bones. The coiled form begins to unravel, scales of rusted iron flake away into sparks, and beneath them are faces, hundreds of faces, all those who vanished on this train and for many, many years before. They're released like breaths held too long, dissolving into soft motes of light. Each one passes by you, gentle, grateful, whispering faintly as they fade. Thank you. It's over. We can go home. The iron serpent thrashes once more, its body cracking along glowing seams. The rails beneath your feet twist apart, splitting with a sound like thunder, and then silence.
One thing, Kirsty. If
Yep.
if I have enough time, may I snap a photo with my
Yes, of
spirit lenses and everything
course you may.
and just try to document everything. There's one final shot. I'll roll photography if you need me to.
Sure, go ahead. Roll photography.
Hard success.
Amazing. We're going to talk about what that means in just a moment. Where the creature once loomed is now only dust, smoke, and the faint smell of rain on metal. The rails are cold, the tunnel is still. In the distance, you hear the faint echo of a train whistle, but this time it's pure, soft, fading into the night. The salt circle lies broken. The token at its center is gone, taken with the dead to their rest. The iron serpent has been unmade, but deep in the earth, something still moves, like the last breath of a dream that refuses to die. You tie your red scarf around a tree and are picked up and taken back to South Clay Ellum. And this is where I turn the story over to you. I would like you to tell me what happens next. Terrance, you rolled that amazing photography roll, and I'm going to let you tell me what the picture is when you develop it. But also tell me about what happens to Terrance next. Let's start with him. What happens next? Do you stay in Clay Ellum? Do you leave right away? What do you tell your
Oh
editor?
no, I'm on the first train. I say my goodbyes. Listen, hey, Professor, even though you're Protestant, please feel free to drop by in New York.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I
I'm in
shall
the
do that.
Flatiron building. You can't miss it.
Hmm.
It's a big triangle on a street corner.
See about doing that someday.
I shake hands,
Hmm.
Mr. Whitmore. As clumsy as you were quite valuable. And even though I will have to, unfortunately, confess your transgressions to the headquarters, I hope you shall be more careful next time, and perhaps we shall meet again.
Oh, okay. Um, well, yeah, you don't really have to pass that on. I mean, just a few slip of the words.
Mm. And I will depart. The photo itself, I saw.
And I leave.
The photo itself is a wide angle shot. Hopefully, I've captured some of the spirits, sort of on the fringe angles, like closer to the borders.
Mhm.
And the I want to capture a clear image of, or as clear as can be, as Yggdrasil,
Yugoslav?
Yggdrasil was as much as he's cloaked in shadow. The light probably flashes like probably the clearest image of this sort of demonic, primordial, ancient being for the first time
Excellent.
probably
Yeah.
in history.
You get a really good photograph. It is remarkably clear. You do capture some of the images of some of the spirits of the dead leaving as well. And it's one that you know you can never publish. So the next best thing is you turn it over to the gatekeepers,
Y-
and along with your write up, it would be preserved for others should this creature ever arise to for research purposes to know what they are facing, and just to prepare future generations for what may be to come, if that's
Yeah,
acceptable to you.
yeah. One last thing, as I drop the photo off and uh, an article detailing of our adventures, the after action report,
Mhm.
as one would give at the gatekeeper headquarters. I turn to probably one of the head guys and I say, unfortunately, Sport, this will be my final report. I wish to retire from this point forward.
The elder gatekeeper sort of nods his head and says, I understand this job takes more than a toll upon the people who are pressed into its service. You have served your country and your world well, and your name will be remembered on the wall of remembrance. And he offers you his hand to shake.
I shake his hand and I say, if you ever need any help writing articles, I'm your man. But field work, uh, you can miss me with that from this point forward. No,
He says, you will be called again for service, but we can respect your wishes not to go out into the field again. It is not safe to send people time and time again into such situations. It can lead only to madness and death.
thank you. Good luck. Until next time. You know where I
Until
work.
next time. He says, we do, and you will be contacted. And Terrance, they keep their word. They don't ask you to ever go into the field again. But you are given. Occasionally, they ask you to assist with research projects for teams that are going out into the field. And they also ask you to just help condense reports. So when field agents come back with their reports, you take them and condense them into sort of a more readable format
Also,
for
take
help.
photographs with my, because I'm pretty good at
Yeah,
it too.
yeah,
Document the
absolutely.
items that have been brought back.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, taking pictures of the items that are brought back and just helping with just documenting, basically, which is a lot of what the gatekeepers do. Excellent, thank you, Ken. Let's
Uh,
switch on over to you. So when you get back to Clay Ellum, what
well,
happens to Ken?
after Terrence left, he'll say, "Well, Professor, I'm heading back to Pennsylvania. Do you want to uh, ride the train with me back to at least that far? I got a
Mhm.
private first class, private car for myself.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Friend of the family owns a bit of the railroad, and he let me borrow his.
Oh
Should be
wow.
arriving tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. I'll.
And yeah, they get in the car, and it's like railroad baron's car, like fancy. Um, they have a personal chauffeur type person handling all their needs when they get in the car. Cushions everywhere, like two big beds, like something the president would have traveled in during this time.
Hmm.
Yeah, my dad's he's a lawyer for the railroad, and one of his clients is basically an uncle, and he let me borrow his car for this long trip. I don't think I could travel this far from Pennsylvania without it. Got to ride in style, at least. I
Yeah, I wish
would
I
prefer to
wish
take the
I hadn't
car, but
gone
I would
coach
not
this
have made it
way.
here in time.
Hmm,
I'll at least get you back to Pennsylvania. Oh, they'll get you to Pennsylvania, and then you
hmm.
can take another rail to where you want to
Yeah, I
go.
can do that. Yeah. Yep.
And then he'll head to Pennsylvania. And once you like get to a certain point, once they get off the train, like people come up to Ken and ask for his autograph, and he just smiles. Oh, sorry about this, Professor. I used to play a little bit of ball back in the day, and they still ask me for my autograph, even though
Oh,
I'm no Captain Zipty or Captain. I think it was Pence, Captain Pence.
I
And
don't understand any of those references, but I'm happy for you? Question mark.
yeah, yeah. Football in Pennsylvania is pretty big, and I was part of the college team that went undefeated. And he just
Oh.
kind of does it like nonchalance.
Mm-hmm.
I did not
Fascinating.
find that out until after I made my character. So that in this time
Um,
period, it was a really big deal.
yeah, I was. Does Ken continue to work with the gatekeepers? What happens to him after this
Uh,
event?
he will take on a couple more missions, and he's more like, well, the professor thinks I should like. That's his main, not this professor, but the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
professor at this
Yeah.
college that he kind of works for. He does another mission with him in a couple months, and I don't know how that would go.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
Excellent. That's great. Thank you. Professor Gray.
The professor returns to his university. I'm deliberately going to be vague on that because I don't want to pick a place to do the thing.
Yep.
He like writes his report. He submits it to the local office, and he too retires from active duty, but offers his services in research and like the anthropology and psychology and occult side of things people discover.
Excellent.
He also writes a paper on the prevalence of snakes in in anthropological beliefs and lays in a little bit of what he's learned without obviously being explicit about what he's
Right.
learned in this
Very
adventure.
cool. Sort of using what he knows without revealing too much to the world.
Yeah.
You are called upon quite frequently before missions. Occasionally, you get the call in the middle of the night where there's an emergency. There's a team who needs some information fast. But for the most part, you help prepare the packages. In fact, one day you find yourself penning a letter, much like the one that you received to come out here, signing it, leaving the letter unsigned, as is the gatekeeper custom.
As is our tradition, yep.
Yeah, as is our tradition. And you suddenly realize that you have become the person who sent yourself out on these tasks years ago. You are the one who finds out certain things. People come to you with strange occurrences. You probably send Ken a letter or two in his time, although he doesn't know it's from you.
Obviously.
You probably also, I don't know if you ever contact Terrance, but you would certainly see his work and use his work in your studies.
Yeah.
And the three of you are linked somehow, though maybe you never speak again, but there is certainly a time when these people were the thing that kept you alive.
Yeah.
And allowed the rest of your life to continue.
Well, where's the professor stationed? Like back in England, or?
No, he'll be on US soil. He's I'm somewhere in. We probably would have caught up. He's somewhere on your coast, so he probably would have
on the East
caught
Coast
up with you at some point.
Yeah.
So you
we probably would talk to each other. It's like, Professor, we need your help. No, we've got an oddity that arrived in the New York branch. How soon can you get here?
Yeah, happy to freelance support that sort of thing.
Because we both became archivers, essentially, retiring from field work.
Yeah, I love it. And that is the end of our game.
Great game, guys. I really enjoyed
so
that.
Much fun.
Fucking hell.
I thank you so much. This was great. I had a really good time. I loved how much you guys really bought into the story, into the characters. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I'm really glad it had the happy ending because I have a write-up for the bad ending as well. I'm glad we got the happy one.
Those first set of powder rolls. Oh boy, that got me.
I know. I looked
at
it. I was like, I had the bad ending up.
It was like we lost 10 points right before we had to do a bunch of power rolls, and that just. It's like,
I think we would have been okay had we not. But
we had luck, and then the second and the third was like a smash success. And I'm like, fuck.
At first, when you said you lose 10 sanity points, I'm like, oh no, then we gotta do a penalty. And if we go mad right before any of this happens, some of us might run away because there's like effects make you run away and make you just go in a coma.
Yeah.
I'm like, it'll stop before it even starts.
Yep.
So it is possible to succeed at the ritual with just one person doing it. The rolls just get harder.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
So having the three of you do it and having the three of you do it all the way through was actually huge.
We burned almost all our luck.
Oh, all of my luck, that's for sure.
I think the professor was out.
I got 16 left over.
I was surprised you didn't have me roll for a hammer blow.
No, I figured there's nothing to like roll for. Like, what are you gonna roll to hit a circle? Like,
if he doesn't like knock down by the wind or goes insane right before it blows or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I just thought I don't know. I didn't think it was needed for
that.
No,
I think it made sense not to do that.
I'm surprised how close we got with before you showed us the actual ritual.
When you guys, I said this on break, when you guys were like breaking down with the prophecy, I was like, I had to mute myself. My jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy smokes, they're actually interpreting this correctly. Wow, because I thought it was purposely made so that it was correct, but it was also purposely made to be a little bit vague and obtuse.
Yeah.
And you guys were just like, you put it all together. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we wouldn't have put together the drawing the symbol in ashwood, ashes, and...
you put together what you needed to do, where you needed to do it. The only thing you didn't know was
drawing
the
symbol.
time.
No, we got the time. We knew that.
Yeah.
No,
you got the time.
We just
So
didn't know
And you
about the
knew that,
drawing the symbol in the iron dust
yeah,
and
you just thought it was a
etched.
circle. And the other thing was you
Yeah,
didn't know to put the token in the center. That was the other
yeah,
thing you didn't
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
get.
We didn't know about the token.
But like,
Uh,
yeah, really impressive.
Oh,
the
good work,
whole
team.
resetting of time thing, that
That was insane.
I think we
What
played that very well, though.
Yeah.
All
You
of
did.
us. Yeah,
Yeah. It was
that's
something that like
really hard
I
to play.
had the idea that you guys were caught in the loop, and I wasn't sure if you guys were ever going to be aware.
We
But
wouldn't have
when
been if he didn't get good enough rolls on the symbol the second time, because the first time he didn't get good rolls with the symbol. I think it
well,
was the
if you hadn't have if you hadn't gotten onto the train and made it off of the train, that was what was required for the time to reset. Was you guys stepping on the train, because that was you guys were in a separate loop to this loop, but your loops intertwined, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes total sense.
And so your loop of getting onto the train was as soon as you stepped on the train, I was like, oh my god, yes. And then you guys realized it when you were on the train, which was really cool, because I wasn't sure if you were going to figure it out until you stepped off, and I was like gonna start from the beginning again, at which point you would realize, but you guys figured it out. Your characters figured it out on the train, which was awesome.
It was
Because then you
because
got to
of
give yourself
the.
clues.
So we didn't discuss. Did the train show back up anywhere, or it was just the souls released in the train?
Yeah.
The
What
train was
happened to
coming.
the? Yeah. No. But what was the fallout from? What was the fallout of our investigation? Like, what did people get back? Did
No, the train never shows up again. Those people that were dead
Right.
were the people on the train as well.
Sure.
Oh,
So
they're
the train
gone,
was
the
just
lights,
lost. Just lost in
Yeah,
general.
the
everything.
train was lost, but you stopped the cycle so they could disperse and go wherever souls go after they are trapped in a cycle. You freed them basically. So the only one who survived the train was the three of you and Charles Brandt,
who is 90-some years old now.
who's 90-something years old now.
And
Yeah,
has
because
thick
he
veins.
jumped off, but the others could get away.
Got it.
All right, just a quick question.
Yeah.
When Ken failed that final roll, did me spending luck into a critical help that? Or was that
Yes,
just
it did.
okay.
Sure did. Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that was
For not the wrong syllable, I quickly like just smack him on the stomach, like, oh, wrong one. I
yeah.
like
If
loudly
you
talk
hadn't
over him.
pushed that chant, so when it says at least do the chant 3 times, you have to do the chant 3 times to successfully.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So if he hadn't, so it's either a regular success, a hard success, or extreme success, depending on how many people are chanting.
Gotcha.
So you would have needed, if there was, so you needed basically 3 successes.
Sure. And what, we're counting hards
so
for 2, or
hards were 2,
right?
extremes would be 3, and so yeah, if that hadn't happened,
So
you would have had to do another cycle before you
Well,
could have banished
between
the
us, we
serpent.
had 3 successes with my hard success, technically.
Oh
But
yes,
even
that's right.
still, it was good,
Yeah.
like good cinematic for you to go. Nope, fuck
Covering,
this extreme.
covering. Yeah.
Because we had no
Oh.
idea at the moment. So
Yeah, and I had the luck to spend. I
Yep.
was saving
Yeah,
it for this moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was either for this moment or me shooting shooting the snake in the face.
Well, and that was the other thing. Once you hit time 4, Ygritte was gonna show up. I have a stat block for him. It would not have gone well.
I would imagine an
Yeah, I'd
older
assume
type
so.
god.
No.
Well, good
Yeah.
session, guys. I had
Yeah.
a ridiculous amount of fun.
Same.
Me
If
too.
this ever
Thank
comes
you all
up
so
again,
much.
I would totally play again.
I will definitely be running another short Call of Cthulhu campaign at some point. I want to take a break right now, and then maybe like in the new year at some point, consider doing another one. So I know this time isn't always super easy for people. So if
Holidays,
you're
yeah.
available, awesome. But we can also talk about what times are more convenient or that kind of thing for anyone who wants to play again. But I do want to do another Call of Cthulhu. I'm really enjoying these, and they're a
Yeah.
fun switch from D&D.
They are fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, they're simple.
Thanks,
Just roll
guys.
D100. That's it.
D100 every time, nice and easy.
All right. You guys have a
Maybe
good
more
night.
magic next time. Yeah, thanks. You too, Cody.
Till
Okay.
next time.
Have a good
See you
one,
next
guys.
time. I'll end
Bye.
the stream here.